Hi, I'm Veronica Wasek with 5-Minute Bookkeeping, and I help virtual bookkeeping pros to become confident professionals and business owners. And today I am talking about the biggest pricing mistakes that bookkeepers make. I'm going to share 5 of the biggest mistakes that I normally see bookkeepers make with their pricing, and in fact the mistakes that I have made myself in pricing and the lessons that I have learned. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1 is charging by the hour. Many of us tend to go as far as with our pricing, charging by the hour. And the reason is because it's what we can control the most in some ways. It's okay, I'll work so many hours and I'll charge X dollar amount by the hour. The problem with that is that first of all, you are working by the hour, which means initially it takes you much longer to do something because of the learning curve and getting used to how the client does things. But at some point, you will become very efficient at what you do, and then that tends to sort of punish you because then you'll actually be working less hours for the same amount of money. So then what happens is you have to find more clients. As you become more efficient, you find more clients to keep making the same amount of money that you're currently making. So that doesn't work very well. Next, there is no incentive for you to be efficient when you're charging by the hour. There's no clear outcome of what the services will be when you're charging by the hour as well. And also, you are charging a different amount to your client every single month, and clients don't necessarily like that because then they start questioning, well, why did it take longer this month versus this other month? And then they really start even questioning what you're spending your time on, and they start controlling what you're doing. And the one thing that I always like to teach is, you are a professional, you are in control. The client is hiring you to deliver a desired outcome. And again, it's very hard to do that when you are charging by the hour. Also, when you charge by the hour, you are positioning yourself as someone who is sort of doing data entry, someone who does work based on how long it takes and not really, again, focus on what that outcome is. And it tends to position you as an employee or a contractor in which the client then attempts to control what you're doing. Next is fear of overcharging or undercharging. And believe it or not, pricing still is one of those things that makes me nervous every time I'm pricing a new client because of the emotions involved. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Am I charging too much? Am I charging not enough? What if I lose this prospective client because I'm not charging, or rather because I'm charging too much? Or what if I take on this client and now it's a ton of work and I didn't charge enough? And so you need to understand that you will make pricing mistakes. It will happen. So you will charge too much. Sometimes you may not charge enough, and you'll make pricing mistakes, and that's okay. That's how we learn, and that's how we refine our pricing skills. If you didn't charge enough, then charge more the next time. I usually know when I didn't charge enough because the client will just say, okay, yes, let's move on. Let's hire you for your services, and they don't complain at all about my pricing. And so at least what I have learned is when you don't charge enough, the client doesn't complain about your pricing. So next time, then just increase your pricing, and then if you start getting some pushback, then you'll have an idea of where you are with your pricing. Now, I'll talk a bit more about pushback and who you're getting pushback from about your pricing in a moment. If you think you charge too much and the client or prospective client said, no, that's too much, let them walk away. Okay, they're not an ideal client, and I will talk about that in a moment. And when you're thinking and looking at your pricing, I want you to think about what I call the buffet analogy. So think about a buffet restaurant, right? A buffet restaurant generally charges a fixed price. Now, some people go to the buffet restaurant and they're eating very little, right? And so then, maybe that restaurant owner says, hey, I'm making a lot of money on those people. And then there are other people who go to the buffet restaurant and they're eating a ton of food. And perhaps that buffet restaurant owner is getting worried about, oh my goodness, these people are really eating a lot. I'm not making as much money. Well, in reality, the reason why the buffet restaurant has a fixed price is because overall, they're going to average at a desired profit. So some people will eat a lot, some people not a lot, and then there'll be an average and they'll be profitable at that average consumption. So when you're looking at your pricing, yes, while you may perhaps not charge enough in working with one client, and perhaps you'll charge somebody and be very profitable, what you need to look at is then how you're averaging overall for all of your clients and not necessarily how you're doing on each one. Okay, I hope that helps you. Then number 3, projecting your feelings about pricing onto your clients. As bookkeeping professionals, we tend to be conservative. Some of us are cheap, okay, let's be honest. And so we tend to think that all of our prospective clients are also conservative. And what happens is that we start questioning our pricing based on what we think that client will think about our pricing. But that's not the case. And in fact, when we think that all of my clients must be price sensitive, what we're actually doing is we're attracting those kinds of clients because we keep marketing ourselves as affordable, cheap. And so we keep then attracting people who want affordable and cheap. But what you need to understand is that 25% of people want a premium experience. They are willing to pay higher prices for a premium experience. They don't want cheap and they don't want affordable. They want a premium experience. Have you ever wondered how these very high-end retailers and sellers like Nordstrom's don't go out of business in the middle of a recession? They don't, because there are still people who are willing to pay a premium to shop at their store. And so what we need to do, and what I had to learn to do, was to realize that I'm going after a specific client who is not price sensitive. Now, that's not everyone, but that is a specific client that I'm looking for. And that leads me to my next mistake most bookkeepers make with pricing, and it is not being clear on who your ideal client is. I see so many of you commenting in my Facebook group, and you're struggling with your pricing, and the majority of the reason is because you're going after the wrong prospective client. You're talking to the wrong people. They don't value your services. They want cheap and fast, and they want to control what you do. But once you're 100% clear on who your ideal client is, and understanding that that's not everybody, that is a subset of the potential clients that you can go after. Once you're clear who that is, you need to go after that kind of person only. Let's go over an example. Nordstrom has a very different ideal customer than Walmart does. And in fact, I looked up the pricing for t-shirts at Nordstrom, and Nordstrom can sell a t-shirt for up to $103. That's right, or at least from my quick search, I found where they have a t-shirt priced at $103. Whereas Walmart, on the other hand, sells t-shirts anywhere from like $4.58 to $27.47. And understand though that Nordstrom is not worried about the fact that Walmart can sell a t-shirt for $4.58 because they know who their ideal customer is, and their ideal customer is not someone who shops at Walmart for a $4.58 t-shirt. And that leads me to the next mistake that bookkeepers are making with pricing, and it's not understanding your value, not understanding how to create value or how to communicate value. Continuing with our t-shirt example, so how is it that Nordstrom can sell a t-shirt for $103 and Walmart sells a t-shirt for $4.58? It's a t-shirt, right? Or is it? Well, we need to understand that the Walmart customer who purchases that $4 t-shirt values something completely different from the Nordstrom customer. The Walmart customer values low prices and convenience overall. They don't care if they tear up the t-shirt or if it gets dirty. They'll throw it away, buy another $4 t-shirt. The Nordstrom customer, on the other hand, values well-fitting clothing. They value wearing the highest quality Peruvian cotton. They value paying a premium so that whatever they're buying makes them feel good about themselves. And they value receiving an exceptional customer service experience. So again, although it's a t-shirt, the Walmart customer and the Nordstrom customer value something completely different. So how does that apply to you? Your value isn't dictated by the number of transactions that you're processing for a client, by the number of bank accounts that you're reconciling, by the hours that you're spending on their services. It doesn't have anything to do with that. In fact, your value doesn't even come from the fact that you provide virtual bookkeeping services. Your value is determined by what the client perceives as valuable. It's a big shift, a big difference. Let me repeat that. Your value is determined by what the client perceives as valuable. So if you keep going after the clients who value cheap and fast, that's all they're ever going to be willing to pay for, because that's all that they value is cheap and fast. What you need to do is to go after clients who value how much time you can save them, who value how much money you can help them to make or save, who value how your services can help them reduce negative emotions or increase positive emotions. Let me give you an example. A client came to me with messy books. They had been trying to fix the problem internally within their company. They weren't able to fix it. Tried to hire a bookkeeper who couldn't fix it. Their accountant couldn't fix the problem. So they found me. I did a paid diagnostic review of their books. I identified exactly what was wrong with their books. And I charged them $2,500 to fix the problem that no one else could fix. Now, I charged $2,500 and I estimated that it would take me 3 to 5 hours to fix their books. It probably took me about 4 hours to fix it. So if you're looking at it from the perspective of I charged by the hour, I didn't. I charged by what the client perceived was valuable, essentially. And what was valuable about the service, and which, by the way, the client gladly paid $2,500 for me to fix this problem with their box. And how was I able to do that? Well, they knew that no one else could fix their problem. They were confident that I could fix it. The client valued the fact that I could resolve this problem for them, and in fact, my services then eliminated all the negative feelings and consequences they were dealing with as a result of having this mess in their books. So my value didn't come from how many hours I spent or what I did. The value came from me being able to eliminate a problem for them. Okay, I have shared with you the biggest pricing mistakes that bookkeepers make. Let me know in the comments if you made any of these mistakes or other pricing mistakes. And just as a reminder, I have made all of these mistakes myself. And just to encourage you and remind you that pricing is a journey. We all are on our pricing journey. We will make mistakes. The goal is to continually refine your pricing so that you can develop those pricing skills. I'm Veronica Wasek with 5-Minute Bookkeeping. Check the description box below for the link to join my Facebook community, and also check out my free resources, including the free Virtual Bookkeepers Toolbox and also the resources on my online academy. Let me know in the comments if there are any other topics you'd like me to do in the future. I'm here to help you guys. And if this content is helping you, make sure that you comment, like, share, and subscribe to this channel so you can get all of my latest videos.